What is going on, y'all? Country Cave back here. I got Jonathan here. Now, some dude named Clem Cornpone or Pond, I don't know which one, said on my last video, I did a video about, if y'all haven't checked it out, I did a video about Paris, Texas voted to keep their Confederate statues. Now, the flag, some guys said that I was racist because I had that son of a bitch right there. Now, Jonathan, are you offended?
No, I'm not. There's nothing to be offended by it.
Now, first of all, the Klan only used the flag in a handful of scenarios. The flag they mostly used was the American flag. Now, tell me I was racist because I had that when the Klan had it. It's like saying all Muslims are bad just because of ISIS. Not all of them are bad. Speaking of, I'll show you something on YouTube later. Now, me and Jonathan have been friends since what, 7th grade? 8th?
Yeah. 7.
See, I met you in 6th, but we didn't get to know each other until 7th when David and Jason.
Isaac and all of them.
But then we started becoming best friends. Now, saying that I'm racist. Now, the background of my ancestors, the Confederate soldiers, in the southern states, we had slavery, yes. I mean, that was, what, like 400, 500 years ago?
Yeah.
There's no reason to be upset about it right now. Like, it's 2017, dude. Stop living in the past. Now, me and Jonathan are best friends through racial discrimination. Meaning, not to mean that I call him the N-word, he calls me, honky and cracker and shit. We joke about that stuff. Yeah, we do. But what I mean by racial discrimination is, with all the conflict about the races going on in the United States, we don't get into that stuff.
Stupid.
Like, why? Like, Black Lives Matter.
Yeah.
He doesn't like Black Lives Matter.
All lives matter, really.
Yeah, I mean, Black Lives Matter wants. It's just like the Panthers. They're just another terrorist group in the United States. They're just like the Klan. Like, I don't like the Klan.
Like, one group of people is not supreme over another group. Like, all people are created equally by one person.
See,
God,
that's in the Constitution right there. All men are created equal. Now, me and him, we hate our distinct groups. Like, he hates Black Lives Matter. I hate the Klan. He hates the Black Panthers. Now, that being said, all jokes aside, okay? All jokes aside. Now, that flag only flew over 4 years of slavery. The American flag was up from the time slavery began to the time slavery ended. And even then, yes, in the southern states there was racial tension, right? But through all that racial tension, we sooner or later got over that part, or at least most of us did, Mr. Clem. Now, he was mad at me because I was mad this guy was holding a shotgun to the head of the statue of Jefferson Davis. Would you be mad about that?
Probably. I mean, because it's a historical statue, that's like desecrating the history around the statue.
See, the reason we have history is so that we don't end up repeating it.
And learn from the mistakes that the past had created.
Like, people over in Germany, they have history about, even we have history about Nazis. We have history about the concentration camps that they had, Auschwitz and the gas chambers and all that stuff. We have one in D.C., which we went to, me and him, when we went on a field trip. What was it, 8th grade?
Yeah, it was 8th grade.
8th grade, we went on a field trip to D.C. and we went to the Holocaust Museum. Now, we have this stuff so we don't end up repeating history. Slavery was a bad part of our history, which is why we need it to remember not to repeat what we went through. See, Jonathan knows about the history of the slaves, like we all do. But you gotta look past that. Like, it's 2017, that's the past. Like, look at this. See? Like, I'm not afraid, neither of us are afraid to shake the hands of a different race. Like, me and him have a friend named Mike. Mike is Mexican.
Yep.
We also have something long. Which most of you didn't get it, but me and him have a joke about Asians. We call them something Wong, which is in our. We have a friend named Felix. Felix is German. The jokes he makes, inappropriate, but we look past it.
Because it's things that happened in the past, we're in the future now.
Exactly. Like, if you went to someone like someone that was born in Miss Irvin. Miss Irvin is a black woman. She's what, 60?
Yeah, she's in her 60s, I think.
60s?
Yeah.
She was born during segregation, right?
Yeah.
Now she's a teacher. Like, you can't let yourself be held back by the past.
Exactly. You're not going to learn anything from the past except for all the mistakes that you made.
If you want a historical movie, you watch the one about the NASA, right?
Yeah.
And Mr. Palmer's.
Yeah.
Well, I forgot the name of that movie. What was it? It was about the 3 black women that went to.
That was like a part of the space race and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
But like, if you want an informational movie, look at that. That's a true story.
Yeah.
But Mr. Palmer, our old history teacher, because he
My
moved.
cousin. He's my cousin.
Second,
First.
cousin.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
He's related to half the fucking school.
Yep.
Harrington,
Braden,
Cameron,
Quentin,
Whitney.
Myasia, she don't go there no more, but Myasia.
Good
Julia.
point.
Yeah.
But he's a black man, obviously.
Yeah.
So he taught us. Alright, this is a black man, right? He told us during slavery, blacks sold blacks. It's a fact. You want to look it up? Look it up.
The African leaders of the African tribes, they would sell them to white people in order to get money.
Yeah,
They already had slaves
the
before the
ones-
white people even came over there.
When we went to Africa to get the slaves, the leaders of the tribes would communicate with us and tell them which ones were criminals and which ones were not. So the only ones that we would bring back to the United States were the criminals.
Yeah. And they would have had a life sentence anyway, depending on the type of crime.
Exactly. So